I'm going to talk a little bit about the fish. When you talk about fish in general and fish classification, most people like to break it down into families or logical units, depending. So I talked about the hierarchy of classification. You got kingdom, phylum, class, order, family, genus, and species. So genus and species, that's the two-name scientific name. Just one level above that is the family. So families of fish, like boxfish, butterfly fish, groupers, goldfish, whatever. When you're talking about those groups, each one of those groups will have several species in it. And I'm going to go through just a couple of these and just share some of the common characteristics. Are you guys all pretty good at fish ID? Okay, cool. So this hopefully will be educational for a few of you. But the butterfly fish is a really cool family, pretty well represented in Hawaii. I think there's like 20-something different species. They are all, except for one, they are all some variation on the colors black, white, brown, and orange and yellow. They have taken sort of, well, let me get to that in a minute. When you look at body shape, they tend to be pretty oval. They all have their dorsal and their anal fin come all the way out to the end of the caudal fin or the tail fin here, and sort of form a big oval shape. And that might be where they get the name butterfly, because they sort of have these big wing-like fins. There's one fish where the fin actually comes out straight down, the long-nosed butterfly fish, and it's almost square on the back. But these guys, and they also have their snout that they use for reaching down in crevices. Some of them eat coral, other ones graze on algae and small shrimp and anything else they can find down in the corals. So like the long-nosed butterfly fish, for example, will use that snout to reach way down and grab stuff. These guys will eat like damselfish eggs, stuff like that. So you might find with divers, you might see schools of these guys following divers, because as you're going along, the divers scare away fish guarding their nests, and these guys are not shy at all, and they'll come in and eat that stuff up. But butterfly fish have taken sort of a different approach to avoiding predation than the other fish. It seems like in the marine environment, not being seen is a really good way to avoid being eaten. But obviously these guys are not taking that approach. They can be seen way off. You don't even have to be standing in the water. You see these guys out there. So what are they doing? Well, there's a couple theories, and one of them that I don't like so much says, oh, I'm brightly colored, so I'm not good to eat. Like the cleaner wrasse, he's brightly colored, and fish know that, okay, this fish is going to provide a service for me. But there's another theory that holds a little bit better, in my opinion, about why they are this way. If you look at the fish, notice that it's really hard to tell where the eyeball is, and which side is the front, which side is the back. And sometimes when I present to kids, they actually raise their hand and say, which end's the front? Because they can't tell right away. And you'll notice that pretty much every species, the front end is almost a mirror image of the back end. So the raccoon butterfly fish, this black stripe covers the eye. You can't see where the eye is easily. And then they have that same black spot back there. With ornate, is this the ornate? Yeah, this is the ornate butterfly fish. They have this black stripe over their eye, and then right on the tip of the nose. They have the same black stripe here on the tail and then on the back margin of the tail. And what that can do is confuse a predator about what they're looking at. And one of their main predators would be moray eels, who have pretty poor eyesight. And so these fish have been observed kind of taking a cool defensive measure. So a moray eel comes out of a little hole, and he's looking for a snack to come by. And these butterfly fish, these ones have been seen coming in front of the moray, broadside, and the moray will back away. And what the theory is that the moray sees these and thinks, I'm not looking at a small fish from the side, I'm looking at a really big fish head on. And instead of striking, they'll back away. And so other ones like the four-spot butterfly fish, they have those two bright white spots that kind of look like eyeballs. And that, to me, seems to be a more plausible explanation of why they are these bright colors. So if you see any fish with any of these patterns or whatever, you can assume it's probably a butterfly fish. Goatfish is another cool one. These guys are sort of long torpedo-shaped fish. They are highly valued as food, so this might be one that you'll see a lot of, if they're short casting, they might catch these guys. A lot of spear fishermen catch these guys. But goatfish, their main cool feature is the barbels they have on their chin. And those two barbels are kind of like a modified tongue. And what they do is they go around the reef and they're tasting in all the cracks and in the sand until they find something, and then they use that to tickle it out, and you'll even see them digging in the sand sometimes, trying to get to their prey. This one, the Moano, you'll often see these guys hunting alongside with the octopus. So they are one of the many fish that will form an alliance with an invertebrate or another type of fish to hunt cooperatively. And in that case, usually the octopus is like covering an area using its tentacles trying to grab something. But if that something escapes, these guys can zip in and grab it. You know, the opposite of that would be that he is out there digging around, feeling, and if he chases something through a rock, the octopus can be on the other side and grab it up. Other things that do that, the Roy and the white-mouthed moray, those guys often hunt side by side. You'll see the Roy, when they first start, you'll see them, they kind of give a little bit of aggression towards each other, and then they give like a little kiss, and then they go off side by side. And the Roy are super smart. They know the reef structure really well. They know exactly which holes have an entrance and an exit and no other passageways. And what they'll do is the eel will go in one end, and the Roy will go around the other, and they'll go in from each side and try to get the fish. And if the fish is really good, he'll get out, but more likely he's going to be eaten by one or the other. What else was I going to say about these guys? With the goatfish, there's two different body forms that are common. You have the ones that are more torpedo-shaped, and then you have the ones that have kind of a deep forehead and kind of like a concave snout and down. But yeah, a lot of those, I know you guys got plenty of these guys out here, and on that, because I used to fish out here once in a while, and I know right on the edge of that reef where it drops off first, these guys are always hanging